Have you ever stopped to realize that every worry you carry is like a silent thief, stealing your peace, your energy, and even your faith? What's most surprising is this. Not every anxious thought belongs to you. It's a heavy backpack God never asked you to carry. Imagine this. A child sleeps deeply in his father's arms. He doesn't wonder if there will be bread on the table tomorrow or if the front door is locked. He rests because he trusts. Do you see it? Trust frees you. Worry enslaves you. Today I want to reveal a spiritual code that can turn sleepless nights into deep rest and anxious days into seasons of inner peace. A principle that runs through the Bible, through universal laws, and through Napoleon Hill's teachings. When you let go of control, the impossible begins to unfold. You're not here by accident. This message is for you, and if you receive it with faith, it can be the beginning of a new way of living. Welcome to Napoleon Hill Code, a place where eternal wisdom meets practical action to awaken your true greatness. Get ready, because what you're about to discover may be the key that unlocks your inner freedom. I once heard a phrase that struck me deeply. You can pray, or you can panic. You can worship, or you can worry. It sounds simple, but it carries a brutal truth. Worry isn't just a habit, it's a choice. Most of us, without realizing it, choose to worry. We wake up thinking about unpaid bills, health concerns, or an uncertain future that looks darker each day. We walk through life with heavy hearts, as if the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But tell me, has worrying ever changed the outcome? Has one sleepless night ever solved a real problem? The Bible makes it clear in Philippians 4:6, do not worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. It doesn't say about some things. It doesn't say only when you can't take it anymore. It says about everything. Because God understands what we so often forget. Worry doesn't solve, it only drains. Jesus himself used a simple but profound image. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Matthew 6:26. Aren't you worth much more than a bird? Napoleon Hill said it another way. Fear is faith in the negative. And worry? Worry is just placing your faith in the worst possible outcome. What I want you to understand today is this. Your anxiety isn't a sign that you have no faith. It's an invitation to redirect it, to place it back where it belongs, in God, in the universe that always sustains you, and in the eternal truth that what is unseen is greater than what is temporary. Napoleon Hill once said something powerful. A mind that doubts becomes a magnet for failure. And centuries before, Jesus expressed the same truth in simpler words. Look at the lilies of the field. They do not labor or spin, yet not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. Matthew 6:28-29. Do you see the code? Napoleon Hill called it autosuggestion. What you repeat in your mind becomes your reality. Jesus called it trust in the Father. When you choose to believe in His care, everything you need arrives in its time. The principle is the same. Worry is misdirected faith. Every time you worry, you're activating faith, but in the problem, not the solution. You're telling your mind, this is bigger than God. And that's the mistake. Worry isn't just useless, it's a spiritual insult. It's like looking at heaven and saying, Lord, I trust you with my eternity, but not with paying my rent, not with protecting my family, not with opening doors at work. Do you see the contradiction? How can we trust God with the greatest thing, our salvation, and doubt Him with the smallest? Every time you worry, you act like an orphan, like someone without a heavenly Father who promised to meet every need. and yet the Bible is filled with promises. More than 3,000 times God assures us He will take care of us. Napoleon Hill insisted the mind is like a magnet. It attracts what you think about most. Worry, then, is prayer in reverse. It attracts what you fear. That's why Jesus repeated again and again, "Do not fear. Do not be anxious. Only believe." Listen carefully. Worry is a thief disguised as responsibility. It makes you think obsessing about the problem is being prudent, when in reality, it's unbelief. It steals the energy, the creativity, and the peace you need to solve what's right in front of you. The code is clear. What you focus on expands. Focus on scarcity, and you'll see more scarcity. Focus your faith on God's goodness, and you'll see provision where others only see desert. That's why today I want you to etch this truth into your heart. Worrying is putting your faith in the negative. Trust is giving it to the infinite power that always responds. Spirituality isn't theory, it's conscious action. Jesus said it so clearly that there's no room for doubt. "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Psalm 23, verse 1. It's not just a verse to memorize, it's a declaration of power, a code that reprograms your mind every time you speak it. Napoleon Hill called autosuggestion the bridge between desire and reality. Repeating an affirmation isn't superstition. It's giving your mind the command to direct all its energy toward what you decide to believe. Do you see it? The Bible and the science of success meet at the same point. What you confess, what you hold in thought, shapes your destiny. Look at the contrast. When you choose worry, you block creativity, energy, and peace. Your mind spins in circles of fear. But when you choose trust, you open the door to inspiration, flow, and clarity. Trust activates faith, and faith activates opportunity. Think about it. How many times were you paralyzed by anxiety over a future that never came? And how many times, when you chose to trust, did a way appear that you hadn't seen before? That's no accident. It's the consequence of a mind aligned with spiritual truth. Worry is playing God. Trust is remembering you already have a Father watching over you. And when you combine faith with action, a transforming power is released. You don't just drop the weight you were never meant to carry. You free your energy to create, move forward, and fulfill your purpose. That's the exact moment spirituality becomes practical, when you choose trust and take steps that reflect your faith. Now that you know the code, let me give you 3 simple but powerful steps to turn worry into trust and anxiety into peace. These steps aren't theory, they're daily practice. Step 1. Declare your faith each morning. As soon as you wake up, sit on the edge of your bed and say out loud, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Don't say it as a routine prayer. Say it as a command to your mind. Imagine those words as keys unlocking a day of safety and abundance. Napoleon Hill said, "What the mind repeats with faith, the mind believes." And the Bible confirms, faith comes by hearing. Every time you say it, you train your mind to believe your Heavenly Father is in charge of everything. Step 2. Hand over your burden. Visualize every worry as a stone in your hands. It could be a debt, a loved one's health, a broken relationship, or fear of the future. Now imagine placing it into God's hands. Say, "Father, this no longer belongs to me. It's yours." That visualization isn't fantasy. It's faith in action. It's acknowledging there's a power greater than you, whose ability to solve is infinitely bigger than your anxiety. Step 3. Live one day at a time. Jesus said it clearly. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Matthew 6:34. The future scares you because you imagine it all at once, as if you had to face it today. But God divided life into 24-hour segments so you wouldn't be overwhelmed. Your task is simple. Focus on today. Do your best with what you have now. Why? Because when tomorrow arrives, God will already be there, waiting with new strength. When you apply these 3 steps, something amazing happens. Your mind stops being a battlefield and becomes a place of trust. You rest like a child in his father's arms, knowing you are not alone. Imagine this. You come to the end of the day, close your eyes, and instead of replaying worries like an endless list, you simply take a deep breath and feel peace. That peace doesn't come from having everything solved. It comes from knowing you don't walk alone. Worry is like a shadow. It looks bigger than you, but it disappears the moment you turn on the light of trust. And that light has always been within you, waiting for you to remember you have a Father who never fails. Jesus said, "My peace I leave with you. My peace I give you." That peace is your inheritance. It's a gift that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on the trust that God is working, even in details you can't yet see. So today, before closing your eyes, give God that burden you've been holding. Let it go. Allow yourself to rest like a child in safe arms. Because worry is playing God, but trust is remembering you already have a Father. And if this message touched your heart, I invite you to stay with us here at Napoleon Hill Code. Here we don't just share words, we share pathways where faith becomes action, and action becomes transformation. Subscribe, share this video, and be part of this community where together we learn to live with more peace, more purpose, and more faith each day.